Hello book friends, how's it going today? Welcome to today's video. In today's video, we are going to talk about the book Scorch by Alexandra Silva. This is the second book. It's her latest release. The first book in the Virtue and Lies series, which this book is a part of, is Burn. It's right there. I have it in paperback form. It is actually stunning. It is a beautiful paperback. I did an unboxing video when I had bought her all four of her books that she have. The Scorch is now book 5. So I had purchased all four of her books in paperback, and I opened it and I shared that with you, and I showed you how gorgeous that paperback is. So I had to bring Cassie and Leo out and put them up on display while we talk about Scorch because it's in the same world. I love Alexandra's words. She is a one-click author for me, bar none. Her words I just feel them in my soul. There are a couple of authors that I really, it's something about how they write and the way they craft their stories just hits me in the gut. And Alexandra is one of those authors. This series of hers, the Virtue and Lies series, is a bit darker than the previous series. Both have super emotional books, both have great stories, deal with some heavy subject matter. They take you on a journey. This series, though, in particular, is quite a bit darker, and it felt that way organically to me as I was reading it. I get tunnel reading is really the best way for me to describe it when I read her books. I get so focused and so drawn in by the story that I literally could not even tell you what's going on around me. And it was exactly the same with Scorch. It's been like this for the previous 4 books as well. So now I know, as if I didn't know before, she's it. She's that good. I feel incredibly blessed to be able to read her stories. Scorch is about Christopher and Arabella. They are married. Arabella is pregnant. We meet them in Burn. I think that's how I connected with this book more so, because they're married and I'm married. We've been married almost 24 years, a little bit longer than Christopher and Arabella. But in any case, I have children. Arabella's pregnant. There's something about that story that automatically I feel like I'm a part of, because I share some of the same themes in the book. I'm going to struggle a little bit with this video because I don't think that there's any easy way to gloss over and give you a synopsis of their book, because it's so deep and it's so encompassing that for me to gloss over it wouldn't be giving it justice. That's how I literally feel about her words. I'm going to do my very best. I'm going to share with you some amazing things that Christopher said, some things Arabella said. The way she crafts her story is just, oh my God, if these were movies, holy smokes, they would be blockbusters. There is a lot of anguish in their story. Christopher, as a husband who they have had as a couple, something absolutely catastrophic, and I get teary when I think about it, catastrophic happened to them. And it's hard because when that happens to people, and, even though it's the book, it's a fantasy land, something that is a story, it's the same in that it either brings you closer together in your relationship or it can tear you apart. And it's it's tearing them apart. I felt their anguish over it. Christopher's anguish is palpable. Is that the right word? Palpable? Palpable? Right? Anyway, I'm trying to come up with another word as tell you how I felt it. Like, I keep sitting forward, you know, in my chair, because that's how emotive the story is to me. I felt his anger. I felt his anguish. I felt his despair. He is down, 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 like in the depths of hell, in the worst place that a husband, a father, a man can feel. And Arabella, oh, as a woman, I understood what she was feeling and what she was doing. I wanted to kick her butt and go, are you crazy? But I understood where she was coming from. Again, deep, dark, in a hole. You know, when things happen, we all, you know, handle things differently. And the two of them just couldn't figure out how to support each other and what was happening. And it was a lot. They are both overwhelmed by this event that happens and the world that they live in. And it's something that I have been a little, I don't want to say confused, because that's not the right word, but I haven't been able to really tap into what Alexandra is telling us about the world that they live in. I got more in this book, and I think if you went back and looked at my burn video, it would tell you, I think I mentioned in that I wasn't quite sure about what was going on in the background. And I still felt the same here in Scorch, but we got a little more about it. So I felt a little bit more settled as far as that went. But that whole world that is going on around them that they are involved in, that's not the basis of these books. It's just like, it's like the backstory a little bit, and it's going on around them. But the books are about the characters, right? So I don't necessarily need all that. But that being said, that plays very prominently in the reason why Arabella makes some of the decisions that she has made after this event happened to them, and how Christopher deals with some of the people in their lives. And I know I'm walking the edge of like trying not to tell you too much, but it's a big deal. And I want to know more about that. And when I did, it upset me greatly, because I thought, oh my God, who do you guys trust? They can't trust anybody. And I felt that way in Burn as well. It's like, who do you trust? There's a group of them that are friends and family. Some of them are siblings. That's who they can trust. And that's who comes to play in this book and who supports them in their time of need. It's those immediate siblings and friends that are super tight. Not even their aunts and uncles or mothers and fathers. They don't even know if they can trust them. And again, they're all involved in the world that they live in a very specific way. And that made my heart bleed for them, because they needed support and they got it from their immediate circle, but everyone around them, no. And that was hard for me. So like I said, I want to share with you some really meaningful parts that helped me wrap my head around how they were both feeling, Christopher and Arabella were both feeling during this time. So this is from Christopher's perspective. I'm hurt and overwhelmed. Fury is clawing and biting at my insides, and I don't know how to come back from my trance. I don't know how to shake it off. That's my wife. How can I not know what she's doing, how she is, what she's feeling, who she's waiting on? It sure as F isn't me. I mean, the book basically starts out with a bang, and this event happens, and Christopher's trying to figure out what the hell is going on. And then on the flip side, this is where Arabella is. It gets worse at night. My entire being feels empty. My body, my heart, and my soul are deserted. No man's land. Slicking another coat of my dark red lipstick over my lips, I pull the strap of my silk slip up my arm. My breasts are still sore and big, a constant reminder of what I've lost, of the life I should be living. Me, Christopher, and our little girl, my baby. The hollow ache in my chest burns and the sting of my sorrow fills my eyes. Before I allow my tears to spill again, I take a long drag of my cigarette, holding it in until it numbs my head, threatening to suffocate me. Poor Arabella, to deal with her life in that moment and those moments, she feels like she has to put how she feels about certain things in a box and close it in order to move forward and figure out how to move on in a way that is to the detriment of her marriage. And something that I love so much about Christopher and Arabella's story is they are 100% soulmates. Their love was so inspiring, and I'm getting teary, so beautiful, so the way that Alex wrote them, you just feel in every word, in every look, in every touch. I know that Christopher referred to Arabella when they first met like she had a magnet, like he couldn't help but move towards her. And that's how they feel, and you get that. You get that in spades with them. There were some of the teasers that Alex had put together that were some of my favorite lines in the whole book. So one of them is Arabella, and she says, "I can't sell myself to a devil because I'm already married to a god." This is how she feels about him. And then she also said, "My husband has a smile that could burn heaven to the ground." I mean, it's just so gorgeous. The way it's written is just gorgeous. I would highly recommend Scorch. This is one of those books that just grabs you. You feel angry at both of them. You want to throw your Kindle at times. You want to grieve with them at times. You root for them that they can get through what they're going through. You want the kind of love that they have for each other. You appreciate Alexandra's writing, that she can make you feel all of these things. Christopher also says, "We are one existence. Her soul is my soul. Her blood is my blood. Her heart is my heart." I mean, don't you just want your significant other to feel like that about you? Their love is inspiring. It is gut-wrenching. I honestly did not know how or where this story was going to go. I was like, what is all of this going on here? You know, I was so intrigued by it. I didn't see Christopher and Arabella's story coming. Christopher and Arabella being married really took it, like I said, to a whole other level for me, so that I could imagine if this was me, how I would feel. And my husband. And I get teary because it's so emotional, and she makes me feel all of those emotions. And this one was really heavy, very close to my heart. And yes, there is light at the end of the tunnel for them. Their story is not over. I hope to be able to see them in the future as well. I love books that are interconnected like that. So how we got to see Cassie and Leo in this book, and I hope that in future books, whatever she's got going on, that we get to see Cassie and Leo and Christopher and Arabella. Let me know if you have read Burn. How many times have I pointed to it in this video? I just love it. Isn't it pretty? Let me know if you have read Burn in the comments below. Let me know if you have read Scorch in the comments below, or any of the Imperfect Heart series, which is what started it all for me and Alexandra, and it holds a special place in my heart. And I'm gearing up for my channel's 1-year anniversary in February. Here we are. It's the middle of December as I'm filming this. February is going to be here before we know it, and I've got some fun stuff that I'm starting to plan, so I hope that you will stick around for that. I appreciate it. If you want to make sure that you get any updates about that, make sure you subscribe to my channel and like my social media, which is Kat Reads Romance on Facebook and Instagram. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I'll see you soon. Bye.